I'll try to keep it very short, although I do not think that will capture the sheer scope of quantity of everything I've learned.
Where do I begin?
You have given us so much material to go back to and to like keep revisiting and keep learning.
How aware are you of all the factors that will impact you personally? So yeah, that's what you've taught me.
I think the pace was perfect, not too fast, not too slow, able to retain, able to grasp, slow enough for us to make notes for those of us who want to.
What particularly stood out for me was also the sheer mass of knowledge you've imparted to us regarding current affairs, and moreover, the importance of thinking critically regarding it and a framework for thinking critically. And you didn't just tell us about that, but you actually made us experience that ourselves by constantly asking questions throughout.
The importance of a really good understanding of the context of things, that's something that I found really, really interesting. So it's definitely something that I learned and will continue to learn, of course, just starting.
And one thing that stood out for me the most was also the interdisciplinary nature of everything.
Like it was not based solely on textbooks, right? So it was not something you had to like rote learn and then just keep it, and then like it was like more of the practical aspect and how to like put things and circulate it in our minds and everything. So it was really fun. And
If I don't change the world, who will? If I don't have that drive, how can I expect others to?
Immensely valuable the way you introduced us to so many different subjects.
You cannot just, I think this is what you started this session with. You have to be a specialist in one thing, but also a generalist at the same time. You have to have experienced, if not experienced, knowledge about everything and synthesize all of that to be able to make appropriate decisions. And so you cannot put yourself in a shell when it comes to your knowledge about the world. You have to think out of the box.
This was my first time dabbling into anything that was beyond my own forte, beyond my wheelhouse, beyond my realm of comfort.
Eye-opening in a way that, what I want to be in future, I need to work way hard for that than I am working.
Modality Ayog, the first 3 days was the realization. The learnacy session was the motivation, I'd say, because like to cover such a wide range of topics, but for it to not seem like I'm doing any of those topics individually.
Yes, I'm very, very grateful that I got to experience this, because it also did feel like a turning point for me as well, because I think my worldview was extremely constricted before this, but now just seeing the reservoir of knowledge that the world has to offer, and the fact that I should be pursuing it, this was a great motivation to start pursuing that more. So thank you for that.
It was definitely eye-opening, a little hurtful at how dumb I am at stuff, and also galvanized me to take up the mantle to work on it, because me having tunnel vision and working in one arena of life is not gonna cut it for me, is not gonna cut it for my ambition, nor the person or the young woman that I aim to become. And I have to do more, and that is something I was invigorated by. So thank you for those words of wisdom, that invigorating inspiration, and the biggest eye-opener.
It's the idea that there's so many connections that I can make with my knowledge that I am not making right now, and how useful they are and how empowering they are when I know them.
It helped me come out of my comfort zone and the insecurities which I had, and and to learn new things.
It is so sad how caught up we get in like competitive exams. Like we, our school, our teachers, everyone is like, what you're going to do after school. It is getting to clear a competitive exam and go to university. So we are so caught up in that, and in a way, it is damaging how we overlook how we are actually going to navigate in the world. Like after school, how we're actually going to navigate in the real world, that is something we all overlook, and it is incredibly sad. So, Leonacy definitely taught me that.
Connecting the dots with so many other things that I know is such a empowering feeling, like I said. So that's something I definitely thank you a lot for teaching me, because regardless of how many people have ever told me to go and do these things on my own, learn on your own, I've never managed to find a reason to do it for myself, and this is something that's given me that motivation and that reason to do so. So thank you a lot for that experience.
It is both humbling and exciting of how much there is out there in the world for me to learn and so many interesting, intriguing things. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for opening up that horizon and really showing us that direction.